As of the recording of this video, we are in the middle of a coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak in China. As it spreads as far as it's going to spread, we don't know yet. But what we do know is that there was a similar coronavirus explosion in China in 2002, actually. And it was an outbreak in 2003. This is my wife, Annie. And she was in China during the SARS outbreak, and I thought it would be an interesting opportunity to share her experiences during that outbreak and compare it with what's going on now. Okay, so first let's talk about what the SARS outbreak was. In 2002, actually, November 16th, 2002 was the first case that was recorded. It didn't actually break out till 2003 in Guangdong province. 8,098 cases with 774 deaths. It was actually brought on by a cat, right? A civet cat or maybe a wild animal, similar to the corona.
果子狸, but I don't know how to say. They said it was a mistake, and after a few years, they found out that the original virus is from the bat.
Okay. Actually, they said that they found it in raccoon dogs, ferret badgers, bats, and even some normal cats could carry it. I read it in an article. The symptoms of SARS was sort of similar to the symptom of COVID-19. They're both coronaviruses, which are, corona basically just means crown. And if you look at the virus, it actually looks like
the crown.
It looks like a crown, like a prestigious virus. Symptoms are basically fever, pneumonia. It attacks the lungs. Very similar. The two of them are actually very similar. The SARS virus had a 9% mortality rate. So out of every 100 people, nine would end up dying. But out of the age 60 and above, it was 50% mortality rate. So like 1 out of every 2 60 and over aged people would die from it. So what were you doing during the SARS outbreak?
I was in Ningbo, and I was in the factory working. Nothing changed. We just noticed that SARS was in Beijing area and the Guangzhou area. When I know it's already March, middle March, then I heard about TV talk about that. The people who is buying rice, and they said the vinegar can kill the virus. Everybody going to the
Took all the vinegar out of every grocery store.
My older uncle, he bought rice for a year, and at the end, of course, he cannot finish and give to all of us.
What did they say on the news? You should wear masks? Was there like, what was being promoted to you guys in China when you first started to hear about it?
I don't even remember mask.
Yeah.
Because maybe I was a little too young, just finish the school and just start to work. I only remember that April we have Canton Fair start. And at the end of March, I just normal sick. I had a fever for a few days. My dad said you cannot go to the Canton Fair because if you go, I heard that when you take a plane and they will measure your temperature in the airport. But if you have fever, they will take you to run the test. So my dad was worried about I am okay sick, just normal fever. Normal sick. If I go to the Canton Fair and they found out I have fever, then send me to the Guangzhou hospital. Then I would have SARS.
Yeah, the Canton Fair, if you guys don't know, is like the biggest at the time. The biggest, right? Yeah. Like it's become less and less popular over the years, but probably around that time.
Still big.
Still huge, but internationally known. Everybody from all over the world comes to this place to buy Chinese products and look at all the factories in China. So it was a hub for people to come from all over the world. So for China to react and be testing all of the people going to the Canton Fair was a pretty big deal, right?
It's a very big deal. During this time, a lot of people who is going to the Canton Fair, they are canceling. Only one person went there, which is not speaking English at all. My uncle.
Really?
My uncle went there. And all of this group of people in Ningbo, when they return back, they send them direct from the airport to the hotel, stay 14 days.
That's where the 14-day quarantine started to become a thing.
In this time, also we have kind of a leader of this, like 钟南山，还有一个姓李的医生。Dr. Li from Zhejiang. She was the
original
owner of the healthy department or something like that. Oh, these, oh, how is it? Oh, these
CDC?
CDC 卫生厅, and she's the one asked for 14 days, and she is very, like in Hangzhou, in one night she quarantined about 1,000 people. So I heard in that time in the Beijing, it was very bad. All the school locked down.
When did you first hear about SARS? Do you remember, like when you first heard about it?
I don't remember.
Not even memorable.
I only remember that end of March I was sick, and everybody drink 板蓝根文 Chinese medicine.
The dark.
Oh, and also I remember I still going to EU market because I was in the EU market buying a lot of stuff, and when you go to the booth, instead of they give you the water or tea, they give you a 板蓝根, that Chinese medicine.
like that's your
my
negotiation drink.
Yeah. Rest of them, I only heard that the school was very bad. They locked down the school, and I know in Beijing that they built a 小汤山 hospital especially for that virus.
Is that hospital still open now? Do you know?
I don't know. And also in Guangzhou, there's a lot of doctor infected, and like 30% death is doctor, I think.
Wow.
I think it's a lot of people dying from that.
Yiwu is a market city, so like the Canton Fair is like a one-time market fair. Yiwu is like a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week, 365-day fair city. As a matter of fact, there's news of Yiwu opening yesterday, right? The current timeline with the COVID-19 virus. Yeah, there's a video of the opening ceremony. All the people are wearing masks. And do you think that's a good idea to open Yiwu right now? Or?
We have no choice. Yeah. Everybody stay indoor almost for a month. If we keep staying indoor, then nobody know is that controlled or not.
You got to kind of open the door a little bit.
Everybody became normal, and after 14 days, like Ningbo is totally open right now.
Not totally. I mean, schools aren't open and things like that.
School not open, but they ask the factory you can come back to work. You know, only especially in my brother factory area is still locked because they found out two new people were sick. I think it's necessary to be normal, and then you will really know if it's controlled or not. And today's news is about they said that like SARS, it's come and it's gone, disappear.
Yeah.
But this 19, this one, they said the problem will be like flu. Will
recur every year.
Live with us in the rest of time.
It'll be part of our life.
It's just like a flu. Certain time it will come, and we just need to have real medical or shots for.
But they haven't had the shots made yet. They're still figuring that out.
It's very necessary and important for the later future, I think.
Back to SARS, beyond the medicine that you were drinking, the vinegar, and not going to the Canton Fair because you were sick, was there anything else that affected your personal life during the SARS outbreak? Nothing. There was no like 2 days, every 2 days one person can go out and buy groceries or anything
because
like that?
Because my uncle was staying that hotel, and 14 days is a lot, lock you in 2 person in one room. And the government offered them food, and he was like, I want some food from home. I remember me and my auntie, we drive to that place, and I gave him food every day, because rest of people are freedom, not even wear a mask.
No restrictions, no masks, no nothing.
No mask.
How long did that, in your memory, was it like the whole SARS issue, was that like 2 months, 3 months, from start to finish?
When I know, probably just 1 month and something.
Yeah.
Like after the Canton Fair, it's just gone. The last moment is after my uncle's 14 quarantines, and then because those group of people from Canton, and then nobody mentioned again. But you can still see from the news every day they will say how many confirmed, how many is possibly held.
So that was something you were seeing like in the news. It was definitely in the news all the time. Like after the SARS epidemic, was there a lot of like industry that was affected, the Chinese economy, the Chinese culture? Was there anything major that shifted after the SARS like faded away?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I know Chinese people put some money to support everybody
Yeah.
and stop this virus, but it cannot compare this time.
Okay, so SARS had a mild impact on China, some memories of Annie and her life there, but this situation is a bit different. So we have the COVID-19 coronavirus, very similar to SARS. As a matter of fact, they're both coronavirus, so they have a lot of like actual scientific similarities. The COVID-19 virus broke out in Hubei province in 2019, now into 2020. Similar transmission, wild animal brought it into existence when it transferred from animal to person. The differences sort of shift there because at 8,098 cases with SARS, we're currently today up to 75,282 cases, whereas there were 774 deaths with SARS. Today we are up to 2,012 deaths. It has a 2 to 3% mortality rate, which is lower than SARS, but it's much easier to catch because of the asymptomatic period allowing transmission of the virus.
17 years ago, the transportation in China is not as fast as right now in China.
The whole world is closely linked together more.
Location of Hubei, Wuhan, is for 9 provinces, go through all the China from north to south.
So
it's very
Wuhan,
important.
Hubei is a hub for all of China coming and going.
9 provinces go through it.
Okay, so location is, but Guangdong province is still a fairly strong hub for SARS.
Well, if you want to go from north to Ningbo, you don't have to pass south. Guangzhou is like kind of end of
the bottom. Yeah.
Wuhan is in the middle.
Yeah.
And also, you know, the high-speed train, how many growing up in past 10 years.
Yeah.
This is one of the things I think is spread so fast.
Made a difference.
Yes.
As for the COVID-19 virus, we are actually still in the process of it. If you guys are watching this video in the future, we're sort of in the middle of hopefully the middle of this.
Hopefully it's the end of
Hopefully towards the end.
Yes.
But who knows? This thing could go a lot longer, or it could peter out, which would be great. Our story is that we live in China.
Do you remember when SARS, everybody know in USA?
I don't know anything about it. Me learning about it while I've been in China has been the most that I've known about it. How old were you?
I was 22.
Yeah, 22. I was focused on other things. And China was far away. Like today, everything's interconnected. So the news for the COVID-19 virus is exploded all over the world. People in America are worried about it just like people in China. But I don't think SARS people were that worried about it in America. They were just like, I hope it doesn't come here, you know? But they weren't like doing what they're doing now with the COVID-19 virus. We left China right around the time that they were restricting flights out of China because we wanted to sort of distance ourselves until it starts to calm down, and then we're planning to go back. So we're sweating out a period of time here in Michigan with our daughter while whatever happens in China happens. What is China doing now, and what is China's reaction to the COVID-19 virus as opposed to the SARS?
My dad have never been see this type of situation.
In combination of SARS and COVID-19, it's like night and day, right?
Yeah.
Like the reaction to SARS is nothing compared to the reaction of the COVID-19
SARS
virus.
maybe only in Guangdong and Beijing, the people were nervous, but the rest of us pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
I did not even remember to wear a mask.
Did you know anybody that had SARS?
No.
Do you know anybody that has the COVID-19 virus?
Somebody in our factory area, but I don't know them. My dad know them, know the names. You know, they're old people.
The virus is very similar in the fact that if you're older and you have pre-existing conditions, it can be much more serious and lead to death. There's a lot more people dying of this than had been dying of SARS, so already it's much worse than SARS.
And a week ago, I think I see the news that said Chinese government put the money a week ago is 18 times more than the whole SARS.
18 times the investment of China to try to kill this virus than SARS.
Yes.
So
not kill, just stop the process.
Pretty much SARS and COVID-19 are very similar. I think what makes COVID-19 much worse is the fact that you can give it to people when you don't have a fever. That's the biggest difference, is that here you could feel perfectly fine and still transmit it on to other people, and it's very hard to control. If you have a fever, okay, you might have this virus, let's put you aside, but even then,
it's very creepy,
today you don't know.
Virus.
It's sinister. It's sinister. SARS went through, and you can't really tell too much of a difference in the way society runs. Do you think that the COVID-19 virus is going to have a greater effect on the way China moves forward than SARS?
I was thinking about that. Maybe from now on, we will wear masks as much as we can.
It might be more of a normal thing.
I'm thinking about that, really. I was thinking last 2 days about this. Maybe in the future, everybody especially in winter time, we have to wear masks instead of just walk around and, like before.
Now, China has basically quarantined the entirety of Hubei province. How many people live in Hubei province?
Hubei, I don't know.
Like 50 million, I think.
Wuhan is 11 million.
I mean, on the numbers scale, this thing it's really hard to imagine.
But Wuhan and Hubei, the top leader has been changed, and the new city mayor of the Wuhan. Now yesterday I saw the news that he went to the local place without anybody go with him. He just want to see if everybody is. But they're doing very good right now. They go every single house, and they call it paicha, means cannot let everyone, even one get. You okay, blah, 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 make notice.
Health check.
And they want to separate the people who is sick for other thing than the virus.
Which
because
is good.
Now you have fever, they put all you together. Then maybe this is another way to infect each other.
So do you think what China is doing right now is good? I
think now it's pretty good. I feel like I see... Like 2 days ago when they say Ningbo is going to be back to work everywhere, I feel like maybe it's too quick. But then I think either way, it's very necessary. Me and my dad both agreed on that, because maybe we will start our factory a week later. But it's very necessary to get normal, and you will know if it's normal or not.
Annie's Chinese and I'm American. We differ in opinion a little bit on that. I'm worried. I'm worried about them restarting things too early, But I guess you never know until you try.
It's Chinese people.
Taught
Chinese people, like you have to your mind to make sure you're healthy. I think it's kind of like control, not self-control. Like if you know you are sick, don't go out.
So you think this is reinforcing just good habits?
Yes.
Good health habits.
I was thinking a lot. I couldn't sleep in the nighttime. I'm being sick a lot. I think it helped. I'm not saying 100% of people, but help some people, at least some people, to thinking this way.
Being more socially responsible will help the whole society.
Yes.
Annie's family is in a factory business in China. They're part of industry. They're part of the most important driving force in improving the lives of most Chinese people, generating revenue that supplies the world with products. Do you think that China will be able to recover in a year? Do you think that this is going to affect long range? What do you think?
We are still good on that. I think it will not kill us.
Oh, I don't think it'll kill you, but I think if China is closed down, let's just say 6 months before you're up to 100%. Do you think that other factories around the world will move their production off of China into different places in that time? Because I can't get my stuff from China, so I was thinking that would be a big problem. People opening up sources some of the other places.
I have been talking with my clients. I even said, if necessary, you can choose the suppliers out of China, but he said he won't.
But that's one case out of many.
Yeah, and also I was thinking, you know what, even, for example, longest we can think about 6 months, right? You think rest of the world, they needed the product, they have to go to Vietnam, India, whatever the country.
Bangladesh,
Yeah, but when, I believe, even like 6 months, and after that, government will help a lot to let those people come back to China to buy it.
And making sure that people stay in China and don't go other places.
Even not do anything, the factory will reduce the profit to survive. You know, as long as the price is good, everybody will come back.
So you might get some good deals in China after this is over.
Or maybe the whole world want to support China, they will come back to buy.
Yeah, well,
China.
that would be interesting.
I don't think really it's a matter, because I don't think so. It's still important. China is still important for supply all the stuffs, I think.
Do you think that in the 20 years from now, people will be telling the story of COVID-19 as opposed to SARS? I mean,
I have very good friends. 4 of us are very good friends. My girlfriends. Now, one is in Thailand. One is flying to Greece tomorrow.
Moving.
One is back to Ningbo, and I am in USA.
Yeah, this virus has
We don't have a chance
spread people.
to sit together, you know, to
Have a goodbye drink or
just everything changes so quick, and never think about that.
Yeah.
Never think about that.
Yeah. So when do you think we'll be going back to China?
End of March.
You think?
Yes.
End of March, we're going to sweat out enough time here before we think it's safe to go back, and schools are open and everything, so.
I think it's very necessary next 14 days.
That's going to tell a lot.
Yeah, if it's infection, the number is increased more and cannot control, then the government will say cannot, you know.
As it stands right now, if you guys are watching this in the future, right now, China and Ningbo, our city, has kind of said, okay, everybody, time to go back to work. So people who have been quarantined and not left their house at all, your sister and her
my
family.
family is still in the house.
They have not, how long have they been in the house?
A month.
1 month have not left the house. If you're interested in the story, I'll leave some links as to how we got out of Ningbo and left. And I'm normally traveling around the world, but I put a pause on that until we can figure out all of this out. We're going to try and start living our lives here until the end of March. So if you want to follow us along, please subscribe, comment below, leave a like or a dislike. If you leave a dislike, Annie will come and hunt you down, and you better hope that you can run pretty fast. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions or anything, leave them below. And Jayoe. Jayoe, China.
Jayoe, Wuhan. Jayoe, China.
Bye. Is that good?
Too bright.
It's too bright. Do you want to wear sunglasses? Cool people on YouTube wear sunglasses.
Casey.
Casey does. Casey does. Okay, intro. Honey, Daddy and Mommy are making a video.